Hello to everyone, especially to the students who enrolled in College of Engineering, BS Maths, BS Physics, BS Chemistry, BS Stat, and BS Education major maths. And to those students that your courses were not mentioned in my vlog, as long as you enrolled this subject, which is Integral Calculus for this semester, I would like you to invite to study with me today. My topic is all about definite integral. So when we say definite integral, we just follow from our indefinite integral. The difference between the two is after we come up with our answer, we don't use, after integrating, we don't use arbitrary constant. Instead, we will use subtracting the upper limit minus the lower limit because we need in this topic as a equivalent figures or the exact figures, okay? And then actually this topic in integral calculus, which is definite integral, is very useful tool for solving an area, especially for irregular figures, okay? Because there are some figure that is not regular, so we will use definite integral, okay? So to further more explanation, I will solve this given integration on the board. So I have integral from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Then I have sine x times cosine x dx. Actually, this is the lower limit and then this is upper limit and then the integrand. Okay, so if we will study this one furthermore, we cannot solve straight away. But we have to recall our trigonometry. So we have this formula. Sine 2x is equals to 2 sine double angle, right? So this will be sine x times cosine x. Then I will divide 2 both sides. So 2 at the right sides will be crossed out. So I have now 1 over 2 times sine 2x. This will be equal to sine x times cosine x. So I will plug in the value which is equivalent to sine x cosine x is equals to 1/2 sine 2x. So this will be integral from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, positive. Then the value of sine x times cosine x is 1/2. Then sine 2x. Then this will be dx. Okay? So in integral calculus, if we have constant inside the radicand, so we will isolate and then we will place outside. So this will be 1 over 2. Then integral from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, positive. Then I have now sine 2x. Then this will be dx. Then let u 2x. Differentiating both sides, this will be du is equals to 2 dx. Then I will divide 2 both sides. So at the right side, 2 will be crossed out. So I have now du over 2 is equals to dx. Okay, so this will be 1 over 2. Then integral from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. Then this is sine 2x is u. dx is du over 2. Okay, again, we have a constant which is 1 over 2. So I need to isolate from the integrand. Then I will place outside. So this will be happen 1 over 2 times 1 over 2. Then integral from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. Then I have now sine u du. So note that in our integral calculus basic formula, so if we have sine u du is equals to negative cosine u plus c. So this is indefinite. We don't have limits, right? So that's why we need this arbitrary constant. So that's why I wrote plus c. So 1 times 1, that will be 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Then integral of sine u du is negative. So this will be circle brackets negative cosine u. Then limits from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. Okay? So 1/4 times negative 1, that will be equal to negative 1 over 4. Then this will be cosine. Cosine u is 2x. So this will be 2x. Then limits from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. Okay, so this will be negative 1 over 4. So I will write square brackets. Then I have now cosine, circle brackets. 2 times pi over 2. Then minus cosine, circle brackets 2 times negative pi over 2. Then I will enclose with square brackets. So this will be negative 1 over 4. Then square brackets. Cross out 2. Cross out also 2. So I have now cosine pi minus cosine negative pi. So this will be negative 1 over 4. Cosine pi. What is cosine pi? So just press your scientific calculator. This is negative 1. Then I have cosine pi. Negative pi is still negative 1. So I have now negative 1. Then this will be square brackets. Then negative cosine negative pi. So this will be negative 1. So meaning this will be negative 1/4. Circle brackets, negative 1. Negative times negative, that will be positive 1. So negative 1 over 4. So negative 1 plus 1, that will be 0. So the answer is 0. So the final answer for integral of negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 sine x cosine x dx is equals to 0. I think that's all. A friendly reminder, if you have questions regarding this matter, just leave your comment or comments in the comment section. Then, if you agree with me, please like and share, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Franz TV. Thanks for watching.